Exodus. Chapter 18. Jethro visits Moses. 1. Jethro, the priest of Midian and the father-in-law of Moses, knew all that God had done for Moses and the people of Israel, as the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt. 2. Moses had sent Zipporah, his wife, to the home of his father-in-law, Jethro, who received her. 3. With their 2 children. One of them was named Gerson, for Moses had said, "I have become an immigrant in a foreign land." 4. And the other was called Eleazar, for he had said, "My father's God was my helper, delivered me from Pharaoh's sword." 5. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came with Moses' children and wife to meet him in the wilderness, where he was encamped, near the mountain of God. 6. And Jethro sent to say to him, "I, your father-in-law Jethro, am going to meet you, and with me go your wife and your 2 children." 7. Then Moses went out to meet his father-in-law, bowed and kissed him. They exchanged greetings and then entered the tent. 8. Then Moses told his father-in-law all that the Lord had done to Pharaoh and the Egyptians out of love for Israel, and also all the difficulties they had faced along the way and how the Lord had delivered them. 9. Jethro rejoiced to hear all the good things the Lord had done to Israel, freeing them from the hands of the Egyptians. 10. He said, "Blessed be the Lord who delivered you from the hands of the Egyptians and Pharaoh, who delivered the people from the hands of the Egyptians." 11. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all the other gods, for he surpassed them in exactly what they boasted of. 12. Then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, offered a burnt offering and sacrifices to God, and Aaron came with all the authorities of Israel to eat with Moses' father-in-law in the presence of God. 13. The next day Moses sat down to judge the affairs of the people, and the people stood before him from morning till evening. 14. When his father-in-law saw all that he was doing for the people, he said, "What are you doing? Why do you alone sit down to judge, and all these people wait for you to stand from morning till evening?" 15. Moses answered him, "The people seek me to consult God." 16. Every time someone has a question, it is brought to me, and I decide between the parties, and teach them the decrees and laws of God. 17. Moses' father-in-law replied, "What you are doing is not good." 18. You and your people will be exhausted, for this task is too heavy. You can't run it yourself. 19. Now listen to my advice. And may God be with you. Be the representative of the people before God and bring your questions to God. 20. Guide them as to the decrees and laws, showing them how they should live and what they should do. 21. But choose from among all the people able, God-fearing, trustworthy, and enemies of dishonest gain. Establish them as heads of 1,000, 100, 50, and 10. 22. They will always be at the disposal of the people to judge matters. They will bring you only the hard questions, the simplest will decide for themselves. This will make their burden lighter because they will share it with you. 23. If you do so, and if God so commands, you will be able to endure the hardships, and all these people will return home satisfied. 24. Moses took his father-in-law's advice and did everything as he had suggested. 25. He chose capable men from all Israel and placed them as leaders of the people, chiefs of 1,000, of 100, of 50, and of 10. 26. These stood as permanent judges of the people. The difficult questions led to Moses, the simplest ones, however, they solved themselves. 27. Then Moses and his father-in-law took their leave, and he returned to his land.